All right, everybody, how you doing? This is S. Anthony Thomas. This is S. Anthony Says, episode number 503. Look, I'm just going to dive right into this. We got to stop being nice to everybody. I'm just saying it. We got to stop being nice to everybody. I've been in this situation. You've been in this situation where you're nice to people when they don't deserve you being nice to them. We have to normalize telling people and having a problem, no problem telling people to get out of our face because we don't do it enough. Do you realize when every time they talk about data breaches and every time they talk about somebody stealing our identities and stuff like that, you're thinking it's a technical thing, and sometimes it's phishing, right? But a lot of the times, I was watching the news, a person goes, they call up the company and trick a telemarketing person on the phone or a customer service person into giving your personal information just by being persistent and aggressive. Think about that. That's all it took. All this technology, millions of dollars, sometimes billions of dollars to save you from identity theft and to save your money. And it is thwarted by what? Somebody being a little persistent on the phone. Hey, man, hi, your customer service. Yeah, I was wondering, I lost my social security number, my home address, and I also lost when I'm going to be home. So, is there any way you could tell me my social security number, my home address, and a time I'm going to be home long enough for, say, I don't know, a random U-Haul truck to pull up to my house that is definitely my house and not I'm definitely not a robber calling up to get this information. When I'm going to be out of the house for 3 to 5 hours, what is my work schedule and when will I not be there? Oh, I won't. Oh, so these are the hours where I will definitely be out of the house for long enough for somebody to pull a U-Haul truck up to my house and clean it out. Fantastic. Now, I knew that because obviously I'm me and definitely not a robber or anything like that. What was my social security number again? Okay, that sounds right. You're doing a fantastic job. That is definitely my social security number. I am proud of the work that you're doing. Well, since you've been that helpful to me, who's actually me, and definitely not someone trying to steal my identity, I was wondering, do you have the bank account numbers and routing numbers for my bank? Because it's definitely me. That's the numbers to my bank. Fantastic. Oh, I didn't realize I had that much money that I'm about to steal. Obviously, I'm kidding. I can't steal my own money because it's mine. Thanks a lot. And it's just like that. And that's a little bit exaggerated, but you get the point. The person on the other end of the line should be just as persistent. No, I'm not going to give you that information. You haven't identified yourself, but they don't. And then you come back and you're going, it seems to me like my house had some furniture in here. And yeah, let me check my phone. All my bank accounts have been drained. Oh, man. Wonder how that happened. I'll tell you how it happened. We should normalize not being nice to everybody, not being so polite to everybody because people will take advantage of you if you're too nice. Sometimes I'm doing my workouts because I'm trying to lose some weight. When I'm working out, I like to have some sound on in the background. And I turn on my laptop and I turn on Reddit stories, and all I hear is stories of the cheating and the cheating and the cheating. And I know a lot of that crap is written by AI, but here's the thing. Having been cheated on in my teens and in my 20s, I realize even though those are AI generated stories, I know what it's like to be on the other end of the cheating. Yes, I do. Why did I get cheated on those 2 times? Because I was too nice. As they back in the day, they didn't have the term red flag. They have it now. But whatever the term was for them, whatever the equivalent was, I saw the red flags. The couple of the ladies I was with were red flag factories. They had so many red flags, they actually took some of the excess red flags and started handing them out to their equally toxic friends. Yeah, I said it. No, I'm not still bitter. Maybe a little bit. But I was too nice. Right? They didn't have cell phones back then. Yeah, I'm that old. Shut up. But you know what I'm saying? It was the same thing taking a phone call in the other room all of a sudden, right? When everything was going good and they weren't looking to be getting it on with somebody else, they're taking all their phone calls in the room with you, so much so you actually wanted to kick them out of the room because they were talking too loud. And now all of a sudden, the same person who didn't care if you overheard her conversation is in the other room, whispering with the door closed, right? You know what that giggling laugh used to sound like? She used to laugh like that for your punk behind, but she ain't laughing like that for your punk behind now, is she? Hell no. You remember what she looked like when her face would light up when you'd show up at her house, or she'd come to your house, or she'd see you at a party, or she'd see you walking down the street. Her face used to light up. It ain't lighting up anymore now, is it? Hell no. But it lights up when that phone call comes, right? When that guy from work calls, all of a sudden, I got to talk about work stuff in the other room, man. No, you don't. You open up the door, she's laying across the bed, giggling all of that crap. Instead of calling her out on it, oh, it must be work stress. Yeah, that's work stress. That's why she got some new drawers that you see it in the bag and she ain't never seen her wearing for you. You were too nice. There was red flags all over the place. You got to stop being so nice. You got to call that crap out. We can't be nice all the time. You should be nice most of the time. I mean, I'll give you an example of me being too nice versus me being not as nice. And I don't mean in a mean way, but it's not as nice as, there are people that will come and talk to you right in your ear in situations where talking in your ear is not something that you want to do or something that you want to be a part of. I'm at an ATM trying to pull some money out. And normally I don't carry cash at all because I live in between all the stuff that I want to go to, corner stores, supermarkets, all the stuff that I go to is so close by that it's really not that big of a deal. If I want to go to the supermarket, I pretty much know what everything costs. I'll go to the ATM if I have to go to the ATM if I don't want to sweep a card, and I'll pull out the pretty much the exact amount of money I need for that particular thing. I need to buy $150 worth of groceries. I take $150 worth of money out of the ATM. I go directly from the ATM directly to the supermarket. But for the most part, I'm the type of person, how can I put this? I don't believe in doing big shopping trips other than maybe one time or on occasion. I'm the type of person that you buy, when say you go someplace, you move into an apartment or move into a house, you buy all the stuff that you need, and then you pay close attention to the stuff you bought. And when something starts to run down and get low, you replace that thing. You do it during the course of a day. You're driving by. The supermarket's on your way home. There's supermarkets everywhere. You know you're getting low on milk. You go in and you buy your milk. You know you're getting low on some cereal. Go buy yourself another box of cereal. You're down to 2 eggs. You like to have 12 eggs. Buy a dozen eggs. You don't have to do the big shopping trip. So I don't have money on me. I don't carry money on me. But on this one specific occasion, I did have to pull a nice little chunk of bread. And for those of you that aren't 100 years old like me, I was going to pull out a little bit of money. I'm doing it, right? And I saw a guy sitting there and he looked like he was waiting in line to go to the ATM. So I didn't pay much attention to him. I'm always looking around, but I'm not paying much attention to him. And if you're paying attention to people, you can look at the body language and kind of tell who's taking out a lot of money and who's not taking out a lot of money. The person's all relaxed when they're pulling out 40 bucks, 40 bucks, or 20 bucks, or 60 bucks. But then you see the person going up to the ATM. You know daggone well that guy ain't taking out $20, right? So there's a guy in front of me, and a guy who's kind of hanging around, starts breaking into a conversation with this guy, getting really close to the guy, sitting right next to the guy, talking about nothing in particular, leaning on the wall, looking at the guy's fingers as he's pushing the numbers on his in the ATM. Now, as you know, a lot of times these guys can scan your cards. That's why you got to have the wallets that don't let you scan the people scan your cards, skim your cards. You're standing right there looking at the guy, right? Hey, ha, ha. Guy's taking his wallet, his ATM card, putting it in his front pocket, right? Now, I don't know if this guy's got a scanner on him taking his numbers. I don't know, but I know he probably knows what the guy's ATM pin numbers because he's standing and looking at the damn thing, right? So at first you're thinking, well, maybe this is just some dude who just likes talking too much. I didn't think that, but maybe you're thinking that, right? Next person walks up, and instead of this, I don't know. I gotta look around. I'm nervous. The person just walks up like, well, doop, dee doop, dee doop. And he could, I guess, detect that this person wasn't taking out any money. So he kind of walks off and saunters off a little bit. Next person walks up and looks nervous. I'm going, these people are taking out a lot of money, looking kind of nervous. Hey, he walks his punk behind back up and breaks into conversation with that person. And I'm thinking, okay, I know what's going on here. So, like I said, I'm taking out a little bit of money because I'm taking care of something at this particular time. And I don't like taking a lot of money out of the ATM because that will require me having a lot of money, which I don't. That sucks. Back to the story. All right, so I get up to the ATM. Current version of me, well, not current, but me in my 40s, which was like 10 years ago, version of me, right? He comes sauntering up, and that version of me, a mature man who's been around, who's seen things, who's had breakups, who's lived with women, who's had so many experiences. This guy walks up to me, and I go, "Oh, I'm at the ATM, bruh. Back up." Well, see where I'm standing? I'm at the ATM. It ain't safe walking up to a grown ass man at the ATM. Okay, if you got something to say to me, you can say it to me 5 minutes from now, but right now, take your ass over there. And did I say that to the dude? You're damn right I did, because that was the 40-year-old version of me. Even the 30-year-old version of me would have said that. The 28-year-old version of me might have punched him in his throat. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't have done that, but I would have gave him one of these. You good, bro? I'm cool. Yeah, back up, bro. But we're going to go back in time to the too nice version of me. 21 years old, 19 years old, very young, and somebody was doing a very similar thing, standing too close to the ATM, looking at my hands, trying to act like he wasn't looking at my hands. Yeah, and see somebody's talking to you, and their eyes kind of dart down the same way a guy, if he's talking to a woman, or he wants to look at her chest, but he tries to act like he's not. Yeah, I'm definitely looking right at your face, breasts, and yeah, breasts, that kind of thing. Well, he's doing it with the ATM, numbers, I'm watching your ATM, and I'm walking away, and there's something that said to me, this is not a good thing. I ain't liking this. No, this is not good. So I had to go back into the bank, and I switched my card, and I switched my PIN numbers, and I had to wait in line and all of that. Why? Because this sucker was standing too close looking at my hands. This dude, just by standing too close and by me being so nice that I let him stand that close, cost me 45 minutes of my time that would have been saved had I been like I am now, where I wouldn't even allow you to get near me while I'm at the ATM. We're too nice sometimes. I know that as an older guy, I'm in my 50s now. I don't get upset if I'm walking behind a lady, and she gets uncomfortable. I really don't, because I'm a reasonable guy, and I realize that a lady is, or it's like an older person, even older than me, doesn't want somebody walking behind her. So I give space. I give so much space. I'll even do the whole thing where I'm walking behind a lady, and I can see she's getting a little bit uncomfortable. So what do I do? I'll do the whole, hey, what's going on? I'll pretend like I'm on my phone to give her some time to walk ahead, give her some space. I don't want to get upset with this person because everybody has the right to protect themselves, right? Have you ever been standing there and you're going to an elevator and you're looking at the people around you? You're in a hospital, you're in a building. Nothing's going to happen to you. But let's be honest, we've all seen the news articles. Well, okay, in the news tonight, a guy was actually in an elevator where normally nothing would happen to him, but he got drop kicked by a gang of kung fu drop kickers called the drop kick gang, where they actually get in an elevator with people and drop kick them and take their wallets. Normally, it doesn't happen because what do they do when the crimes happen? This is such a nice neighborhood. I mean, I am so unbelievably stunned that this type of crime would happen in our neighborhood. I mean, everybody here knows each other. This is this small town, and I mean, I understand it happening in the big city. Yeah, the big city that's 4 minutes from you. It's not like the people are going, I don't know about you, but I love robbing people in this big city. Now, there's a small city over there with people in them who are not used to being robbed, which would make them even easier to rob. Seeing how there's a line right there where big city stops and the small city starts, I really have to take all of my wanting to rob peopleness and stop it at that imaginary boundary right there. Man, I would love to go over there and rob them people, but dang it, they're on the other side of that city line right there, man. Oh, even when I go on the other side there to get like go to the store and buy something, there's a part of me that goes, "Hey, there's some very robbable people." But unfortunately, I'm on the other side of that county line. I can't rob them. Hey, people right there that are carrying lots of money and expensive watches and stuff. Is there any way you could walk on the other side of that line right there for the big city? For no particular reason. It's not that I am going to rob you the second you get on the other side of that line. That definitely is not going to happen. I just would like you to walk on the. You're not buying it? Damn. But they're all, I can't believe it happened in our town, our part of the town. I can't believe it. It just, oh my God, how does it happen here? How does crime happen here? You see it all the time. I say people should have the ability and not feel guilty about protecting themselves in certain search situations. And that's what I'm telling you right now. You don't have to be nice to everybody. It's good to be a nice person, but you don't have to be nice to everybody. You don't have to be nice all the time. If you're trying to protect yourself, if you're trying to put yourself in a better position to go home safely, right? In most situations, do what you got to do to protect yourself. That's all I'm saying, right? I'm still mad at teenage, early 20s me for letting that sucker stand too close to the ATM and taking 45 minutes out of my day. I'm still mad about that. And that's daggone there. That's 30 years ago or something like that. I'm still mad about it. So don't do that to yourself. You ain't got to be nice to everybody. Understand? Cool. All right, that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching, my friend. I'm going to try to do a video component to this episode to this podcast on a regular basis. People have contacted me and they're going, well, I like the audio, but could you add some video to it? Well, I'm adding video to it. And quite frankly, hearing these golden tones and seeing this still pretty face, wow. I mean, don't you, consider yourself lucky. I went too far with that. Much love to you all. As this Anthony says, episode 503. I will see you again next time. Much love to you all. Take care.